the hidden history of neoliberalism. My first reaction to this is probably one of the most interesting issues to talk about, and one of the worst words, one of the most boring words. It doesn't define it. It confuses people. I think we need to come up with a new word like privatization or deregulation or Reaganism. You talk about all these, but first of all, just help me understand why people don't understand what this term is, which began, I guess, in Europe in the 1940s.
Yeah, it was a group of mostly European economists. There was one guy from the United States, Milton Friedman. But this was a group that was organized by Ludwig von Mises and Friedrich Hayek, and they were trying to figure out, a way to kind of Nazi-proof democracies in Europe. This was during World War II. And also communist-proof them. And they were economists, so they thought the answer was economics. Now, in Europe, if you say liberal economics, what you're talking about is what we would call here libertarian or objectivist or laissez-faire or unregulated or small government or low tax or trickle down or supply side or Reaganomics. And they wanted to go even beyond that. And so they called it the new liberal economics, neoliberal. And the reason that I put the title in the name in the title, although as an author, I don't actually have control over the title, which is why greatness is in the subtitle. It was my idea. But it is because, I think Americans need to figure this out. When Reagan came into office, people look at all the things he did, destroying unions, privatizing businesses, privatizing government functions, cutting taxes, gutting regulatory agencies, all kinds of stuff. And they wonder, what happened with this? And it turns out that he was following a script, and the script was called neoliberalism.
It's so funny to think about how much, not funny, but scary to think about how much impact he had when really he didn't have any ideas of his own. I mean, you talk about Reaganism, but really it was the right-wing free market economists who influenced him to the point where I suppose you can talk about how George H.W. Bush thought his tax policy ideas were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I think I learned this from listening to your radio show until he became Reagan's pick for VP. Then he changed his belief on those economics that influenced Reagan.
In the primary in 1980, when he was running against Reagan, he called Reagan's ideas voodoo economics, fairly famously.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Yeah. Well, and then he got the nomination, and suddenly it was like, oh yeah, trickle down. It's great stuff.